Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Cardboard Commander. And my name is Jerry. And today we are in episode 9 of the Zone of Control podcast. So I want to thank you guys for coming in and hanging out a little bit. I know it was kind of late notice, but hey, Christoph, how are you? Just really wanted to get this going. I'm headed out to an ASL tournament this weekend. So I wanted to get this done and get it up on the website before I hit the road tomorrow. I won't be, I'll kind of be out of the loop the next couple of days. But that should be fun. I'm never going to complain about going to go play war games. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, I try to keep these to within 30 minutes. So you guys are going to get tired of hearing my voice if I talk any longer than that. So I want to make sure that that we're all good there. So make sure you keep putting your comments in the comments there. And if you want to hear anything or see anything, just let me know. Hope everybody can hear me okay. And this week we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about what I've done this week. And it's been a busy week. I started a couple projects. Hopefully you guys have got to see some of that. And I've continued with some of that. Hey, Mike, how are you, buddy? And we've also got some things getting ready to kick off, and you're going to see some of that. And I'm going to kind of go over that. Like I said, I'm heading off to March Madness ASL Tournament tomorrow morning. I've got a sneak peek for you. I've got an update on the 10-game challenge that I'm doing. Then the main topic for the day is going to be the War Room had a thing last week about what was the best way that they learn games and that sort of thing. And it got me thinking. So I'm going to kind of do my 5 steps to how I learn a game. And if some of you are watching Enemy Action Kharkov, you're going to think I don't even go by any of this stuff because that game is still kicking my ass, to be honest with you. Then I've got another challenge that we're going to talk about, the Play Someone Online challenge. We've got a featured YouTube channel, and then we're going to talk about tonight's Thursday Night Showdown with Jester and I. So we might as well just get right on into this. Oh, if you haven't had a chance, do the subscription thing. Click on the YouTube stuff. Do all that. Really do appreciate it. Got over 1,000 subscribers. You guys have really made me take off pretty good, and I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate the support. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting Wolfpack out on the table too. I started reading the rules, and I'm trying to get with ID Jester to try to get into a play through with Mike and a couple other people. It's just the next couple of weeks. I'm pretty limited on time. I'm heading, my wife's a school teacher, and I will be heading to Savannah, Georgia next Thursday for a week for spring break. And so I don't think she would really understand if I told her I didn't want to go because I wanted to play Wolfpack. And even though it'd be a great idea, I just don't know if she would agree with that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is, again, we did the unboxing of, that's on this week's channel. I did an unboxing video of Wolfpack. One of the things I will say, Mike, even though I know you're on here and everything, the components of this game are amazing. The box is hefty, and when you open it up, there is just some great, well put together content there. Really looking forward to playing it. The pieces are great. The map is, I mean, I was kind of leery about the map, but the map's excellent. The rule books seem to be really good, so I'm going to start digging into those. In fact, tonight probably. And but yeah, if you guys get a chance, go check out my unboxing video, and you guys should go pick up Wolfpack if you get a chance. Yeah, Mike, it's top notch, buddy. Really, it looks really, really good. So again, I told you all I'm heading over to March Madness in Kansas City. So where I live here in Northwest Arkansas, I'm only about 2.5 hours from Kansas City and about 2 hours from Oklahoma City and about 4 hours from Dallas. I'm pretty centrally located. So I try to get to some of the events that I can. March Madness is awesome in Kansas City. They do a great job, the Kansas City ASL Club. I play starter kit only, and they always have a bunch of guys playing starter kit. Plus, they also have a bunch of new scenarios, and it's just a good group of guys. I think it's at the Hampton Inn. I think that's where it's at. Nice hotel. Really enjoyed my stay there last year. This will be my 3rd year, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to get up early in the morning, hopefully hit the road by 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'll roll in there. They open the doors at 9 o'clock, so I'm hoping to get in there right when they open the doors. I'm going to take a couple extra games. We're going to play some ASL most of the day, but then I'm hoping at night maybe we can play something else. I'm staying at the hotel, and the gaming hall's open all night, so I'm going to try to get my nerd on and do as much as I can while we're there. So got a sneak peek yesterday in the mail. I got In the Shadows from GMT. I know that some of you are still waiting for your packages. I think they ship by name. And since James is kind of like in the middle, I just got mine. But the components of this game look great too. Small map. It'll be a nice little travel game. Very well put together. I'm really looking forward to getting this on the table. And but just to give you a sneak peek, I got it yesterday in the mail. So stay tuned for some future content about that. Enemy Action Kharkov. So I am in the 2nd turn. And if you guys have been paying attention, hey, Dicey Dave, how are you? This game is tough and it's crunchy, and there's a lot of things to remember. I'm sitting here looking at the rule book, and these are just the player aids for it, and I've got them all in like this little flip book, and it's challenging, but I really am very appreciative of everybody that's helping out. I know a couple guys are sending me, I mean, they send it by timestamp so I can go in and kind of see where I'm goofing up and see what I'm doing. Another turn will go out tomorrow. I'll have it out tomorrow. But I'm hoping to wrap this up by the end of next week, because I've got an announcement for the next game that's going on the table. So this is my 2nd game of the War Room Challenge. My first one was the World War II Commander Battle of the Bulge from Compass Games. I played that. Now I'm playing this, and then I've got the 3rd one, and I'll show you what we're going to be playing. I had a poll online on my YouTube channel and let you guys pick. So, oh, that's great news, Robert. I'm taking you're talking about In the Shadows. Yeah, it looks really, really cool. All right, so I'm going to keep on moving on here. The next thing we're looking at is we're going to talk about how I learned to play a game in 5 easy steps. And look, this may not work for everybody. It works for me. So I'm just going to kind of tell you how I do it. But I would like, if you guys have some ideas, let me know on how you do it, or if you think I'm full of crap. But I just know that it works for me. I wish I was as intelligent looking as this kid is, though, because he looks like he's trying to figure things out. But again, this is from the War Room. I did not come up with this on my own. I'm stealing the idea from them, and I don't think they'll really mind. So let's go to step number one. So first one is check out the game. And this sounds pretty easy, right? But just like when I got Wolfpack and just like when I get into Shadows, the first thing I like to do is like to open the box and I like to go through all the components, right? I like to look at and I don't deep dive into it. I just look at the components, look at some of the counters, look at the player's aids. I'll read maybe the introduction to the rule book, but I just want to get kind of a feel for the game. And I think that this is one of those things that people get hung up on is sometimes you can get intimidated by when you open the box, or you can get intimidated by a map or something like that. I was a little bit that way with Enemy Action Kharkov. When you open the map, there's just tons of little angles and arrows pointing to things. But just remember, it's a game, right? There's a learning curve to it. But first thing I do is I just check out the components. Make sure everything's in the box, because believe it or not, I've gotten games that don't have everything in the box. And then I just kind of look at it and kind of feel it, touch it. That's the fun part of war games, right? Is the touching and feeling. I love playing on Vassal, but nothing beats touching cardboard and playing the game. Next is I read the rules. A lot of people don't like to read the rules, right? But I will sit down and I will read the rules. Now, when I'm reading the rules, and I'll get my Kharkov book over here, right? So when I'm reading the rules, like Kharkov has 40 pages of rules, right? I'm not grinding out 40 pages of rules at one time, okay? But what I'll do is I'll break it down I'll just read a couple of pages, or I'll read, like in this book, in this one, I read all the way up to setup of play. So that took into account explaining the map, explaining the game pieces, some of the terminology, what the cards look like. So basically it was 4 pages. And I know that a lot of us that play war games, we've been doing it a long time, right? I've been doing it since 1978. I know what counters look like. I know what most game components look like. But there's always something about when you open a book and you get to see what the counters are and you read about what they mean. So I just go through there, kind of glance through it, and then I put it down. Then I'll come back a little later and I'll read setting up for play, and I'll just read some more pages of it. And most of today's rule books have tons of graphics, right? Sorry for the glare, everybody. But they have tons of graphics. And so it's easy to kind of read through it and kind of be cognizant of the fact that not every page is going to be, text after text after text. Let's see. What did Christoph say? I had the same weeks ago. Flying Pig Games 85. Missing component. Oh, man, that sucks. And were they able to take care of you? Did you get a hold of them? Were they able to take care of you? That's horrible. But again, I just go through and I read the rules. Now, I'm not just grinding out the rules. Like I said, I'm splitting it up. And one of the ways that I learn, and I know a lot of people, y'all learn differently. If I have a problem with a section or a part of it, I will go back and read it out loud just so I can hear it and kind of digest it a little bit. I never make notes in the book. That's just not what just not what I do. But I do, like I said, I'll read out loud. I'll go back and read it over again. But so then I just read the rules and I read them from front to back. I get all the way through the rules. And and that gives you, look, you're not going to know everything by the time you read the rules, but it's going to give you a firm grasp of what the game looks like. And then I didn't put this in the slides because not every game has a YouTube channel. But then I will go out and I will search for YouTube and see if anybody's got any playthrough videos. Now, I am going to preface this here. Just because somebody's got a YouTube video online doesn't necessarily mean they're playing the game correctly. I am a prime example of that. I'm playing the game to the best of my ability. I'm trying to learn the game. However, you usually can get the gist of what is going on by watching people who are playing the game. It just makes you feel like you're a little more comfortable at it. Also, it allows you to, if you're watching it, you go, oh, wait a minute, I read something that you couldn't do that. it kind of gives you a reference material. And so that's the way I like. So I read the rules, then I go look online. I don't do a lot of looking online to get people's thoughts about games because, look, not all games are made for everybody. And I've heard good and bad about all types of games. So I try to wait until I get it and then go from there. But again, I read the rules, then I go watch a YouTube channel and, kind of go from there. So next, the sequence of play review. So this to me is key. I will go into the sequence of play. And if the rule book is good, the sequence of play will be a breakdown and it will have rules for you to reference. So I will go through and I will then go through the sequence of play. And, a prime example is this first phrase up here. It says, conduct the following. So this is a reserve phase for this game. Conduct the following steps in sequence. Deploy to the map all German units already in reserve units box from previous game turns, 9.0. So now I'll go to 9.0. I'll read that. Then I'll come back to the game turn. This is where I spend a lot of time when I'm learning a game is trying to learn it through the sequence of play. I really take my time and try to walk through it. Now, what's really frustrating is when the sequence of play, they don't give you a lot of detail. And I used to see that a lot in older games, some of the older SPI games and stuff like that. They would just give you the steps, right? Dot, 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 dot. And there'd be no explanation. You had to go find it in the rules. Seems like today, most designers understand that the sequence of play is very important. And so they'll make it where you can follow through and kind of go through there. So Christoph, what are you going to do to get the components? That's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. Next, check out the player aid. So Mike, really appreciate this about Wolfpack. Appreciate it about this game. The player aids are really good, and it keeps you from having to shuffle back and forth into the rule book. So I will look at the player aids. You can kind of see once you get the player aids together, you can kind of, if they're done correctly, you can kind of get a really good feel for the game. I'll read through those after I've read the rules, after I've gone through the sequence of play, because there are times where, and it's kind of frustrating, but there are times where they kind of gloss over stuff in the rules, whoever's doing it, but then they put the stuff on the player aid and they give you more details. So always just kind of, like I said, after I read the rules, do the sequence of play, then I come back and I look at the player aids and make sure that, see if I'm not missing anything. To me, player aids are huge, right? And I love this about games because if you think back years ago, the only thing you used to get in the game is maybe a setup chart and maybe a reserves chart. But now you get so many good player aids in the game. What's it say, Christoph? It says, I use wooden blocks. The terrain overlays are missing. Well, at least that's an easy solve. It's just a shame because if I'm not mistaken, that game's not very cheap either. So, well, at least you found a workaround. Look, we all have to do that from time to time. And I'm actually going to have a show about that as well. There are so many little things I use when I'm playing a war game that don't come in the games, like little blocks. I use those old bingo. You can find some of these transparent bingo things that people use for bingo cards, and I use those. I'll use die to keep up with certain numbers, like in Kharkov. I use die to keep up with how many chits I'm drawing and what the combat odds are because it's such a long drawn out process. I'd forget it half the time if that was the case. But yeah, player aids is number 4. And then number 5 is just set up the game and push some cardboard, right? So I'll set up the game. I'll go through the examples of play if they have them, which most good war games do have an example of play. I'll set that up. I'll push the counters around. I get a feel for it. I will even go watch other videos, and I will move the pieces around to mimic what they're doing, just so you can get an idea of it. And then I'll just play a couple turns, right? I know I'm not going to play a full game. I play a couple turns, And I try not to reference the rule book all the time. So and that's the only time I write stuff down, is I'll have a notepad next to me. And if I have a question about something, I'll write it down, because I think I know what the answer is, but I'll write it down. I'll go reference it and then kind of do that. So a lot of people, I call it, and there's a lot of people in the hobby. I'm not throwing shade on anybody, but I think sometimes people enjoy getting the games, and they enjoy the rules of the games, and they enjoy looking at the games. There are tons of people who don't play the game. And I have to say, I was one of those people who used to do that. At one time I had 300 and some games, and half of them I never played. And so I decided that my thing now is, if it's on my shelf, my little meager shelf back there that you can see, I'm going to play the game. So if I own the game, I'm playing the game. Now, doesn't mean I'm going to like the game. Doesn't mean that it might not go see Noble Night games pretty quickly. Hey, Stuka Joe, thanks for showing up. I'm going to talk about our Western Front ace here in a little bit too, so stay tuned. But again, I think some people just get so caught up in buying games, reading the rules, and they never play the game. And to me, that's crazy, right? War games aren't cheap. So I want to play them, and there's a reason I have them. And so I want to play them. So that's, so just get out there, do it. You don't have to like it. Look, there are games where I've played a turn and I'm like, yep, this isn't for me, and move on. But there are other times where I've been very surprised by games that I thought, well, I may not like it. And one of those is Viva la Emperor. I bought I have one Napoleon game, and that's it. Well, now I have two, because I bought Napoleon. I sat it up. I had to push the counters, and man, once I got the counters on the board and was moving pieces around, it was unbelievable. And so it's just one of those things. You have to get it on the board. You have to go play. So just to wrap things up, right? Open up the box, make sure all the components are there, look at the game pieces. I read the rules for step 2. Again, not so in depth that I get bored with it, but I read them pretty good. Then I look at the sequence of play. Then I go look at player aids. Then I set it up and I push some cardboard. So that's how I learned to play games. So let's see, Christoph, it says, I play every game I have, only 30 games, but one game done. Another. Yep, that's me too, buddy. In fact, that's a great segue. And that's one of the reasons I put this up here. So like I said, as soon as I'm done with Kharkov, which is sitting right over there and almost done, I am going to be playing. If you guys have noticed in some of these slides, there's been a theme. So my next game that I will be playing is The Lamps Are Going Out by Compass Games. And really looking forward to playing this. It looks amazing. I like World War I games anyhow, but this game looks like a lot of fun. Let's see what Burning Blue is a game that kicks my rear. So that's another thing, Mike. And that's why I want so bad to play with you in Wolfpack, is because sometimes it's just nice learning from people who know what they're doing and know how to play the game. So Stuka Joe did a couple of playthroughs. That Western Front Ace is one that I probably would have never bought had I not seen his playthrough or his videos. He did a couple others on one on Stalingrad, the Verdun on the Volga. He did a thing on that. I went and bought that. I like learning from people that know what they're doing, and it doesn't hurt that Stuka Joe's production is awesome too. So he does very good videos. Hey buddy, how are you? Good evening. Oh, that'll be awesome, Stuka Joe. So what are some of those games that's been sitting out there too long? One of those that I have is that I want to get on the table is I want to get Up Front back on the table. The old Avalon Hill card game way before its time. I want to get that back out on the table and everything. And so, Mike, that would be awesome, buddy. I really appreciate you guys for doing it. I hate for you to wait on my timeline. So if you guys want to play, I get it. But if you do wait, I would really appreciate that. That'd be fantastic. So next up for my War Room Challenge or War Game Challenge will be The Lamps Are Going Out. and I will have that set up as soon as I'm done with Kharkov here. So I'm hoping it's not as grindy as Kharkov, but I think that'll be the one. Stuka Joe here. I have a lot of rare games. There's one called Be Afraid about the. Well, that's an interesting topic. Don't see a lot of games about that topic. I look forward to seeing that. That's awesome. And who makes that, Stuka? So next up, we're going to talk about our online opponent. And so this is another thing that I'm trying to get people to do, and that's to go and play somebody new. And I know online, a lot of people don't like to play online with Vassal and everything, but I truly enjoy playing other people, and I like playing new people. Jester and I have really gotten into playing a lot together, and we have really, this Thursday night thing has really become a really cool thing. And it's, I'm just kind of challenging people to. So I'm going to throw it out there. If you guys want to play, shoot me a note. We'll find a way to play. I'm pretty flexible. I have a pretty open schedule when I'm in town. But yeah, if you guys want to play, I'm up for playing most anything. I really enjoy playing on Discord and Vassal. Dicey Dave, I love pushing cardboard too. It's just, I live in Northwest Arkansas, and there are not a lot of people in Northwest Arkansas playing games. And so I have to go a couple hours to play a game if I want to play somebody face to face. I got kind of spoiled when I lived in the Dallas area because we had tons of people who played. Not so much here. But again, I would love to push cardboard face to face. It's just, I don't get the chance to do it. So I try to meet new people as much as I can. Stuka, boy, those Against the Odds magazines are really good. I really do like those. Christoph, I've been playing Vassal when it was, I didn't play any other game but ASL on it when it was VASL. And there is a learning curve. It's not that steep of a learning curve. And it opens up a whole bunch of playing opportunity that I just would never have. I play a lot of games through email. So when my wife's here, I try not to be on the computer and stuff. So when she goes to bed, I'll come sit at this desk and I'll play games until 11:30 at night. And it's a good way to be able to play them without having to put anybody on blast. I can just go and play my turn, and it slows things down, but it allows you to walk through the turns too. I'm playing right now. I've got 2 ASL starter kits online on Vassal. I'm playing Antietam, the Worthington game on Vassal, which is amazing on Vassal. And I'm playing, what's another one? Battle of the Bulge. I'm playing online. And like I said, I'm hoping to play with the guy I think his name is Grant at Pushing Cardboard. We're hoping to get together and play some up front. So, but again, I love playing. I love playing face to face, but playing Vassal is really kept my interest in the gaming going. So I want to show you guys my featured YouTube channel for this week. Is I think his name's Dan at No Enemies Here. He does a show with Ardwolf, and each week he does a show that he kind of pulls up all these YouTube channels and he kind of goes over what they did for the week. And I have found so many cool YouTube channels that way that I probably would have never found because he goes over those YouTube channels while you're sitting there. And it's just really cool. He always mentions some great channels. I'm fortunate that he's mentioning my channel, and he's funny too. He's a Canadian guy. He's got he's funny. He's doing a bunch of miniature painting now and stuff, but he's just a good listen to. And I really, like I said, I've really been impressed with all these websites that he finds and all these YouTube channels. There's so many cool YouTube channels out there. And I'm glad I've gotten into the pool. And I know my channel sucks compared to some, but it's getting better. And but I really do appreciate all those other channels. Let's see, Mike, what'd you say here? I never play Vassal mail only. And I get that. ASL is easy to play over mail, which is one of the reasons I do it. But yeah, I get that. But playing live now with Discord and everything is awesome. Well, Christoph, let's get something on the table. Let's play. Like I said, I'm pretty flexible, so I could play to your hours, and let's do something. Like Mike said, I'm willing to play. Let's see. I guess I'm missing part of that conversation. And then, oh, is there more Italian? That could be, yeah. So, I think he lives in Canada, maybe because he mentions it a couple times. But yeah, it's I really like his channel, and again, I'm honored that he's mentioned me, and I've really found some really good channels, some channels doing there. So now we're going to get to the showdown. Now this date's wrong. I just now noticed that. We are playing tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central's time. Jester and I are playing War at Sea. And basically, it's an old Avalon Hill game. Easy to play, it's a dice chucker. Nothing real serious, but it's a lot of fun. And come join us. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. And like I said, it's a dice chucker, and Jester's got his chest all pumped out because he's won 4 games in a row. So we'll just have to see what that looks like. And heaven forbid if I ever win, which I will eventually, that poor guy is not going to live it down. And yeah, I'm not sure. I think we're going to roll for sides, Stuka. So we'll kind of do that. If he wants to be the allies, I'm cool with that too. I've played this game enough where I think I can win as the Axis, but yeah, looking forward to playing that. So before we move on, I think this is So again, I want to thank you guys for hanging out. If I'm not doing a live show, I do record them and put them out at 7 p.m. I just want to make sure that you guys are checking us out. It's every Thursday. I know it's kind of up and down, but I try to do them live if I can. I would like to do them live later, but since I play with Jester a lot of times on Thursday, it's just easier to do it this way. If you win, Jester won't show up at the night. Yeah, I bet that's the case, and that's pretty funny. I do like playing with Jester though. He's a good. He plays some. Man, he knocks out some games, boy. He just like last night, he was playing a bunch of games I would not play, but I always tune in and see him playing. And then some of the sports games I do like. I do like some of the sports games he plays, but yeah, you know what? He does win a lot. But I'm gonna beat him eventually. He keeps playing these war games. He's gonna get beat eventually. So before I move on to the last thing, I hope you guys have checked out. I'm a big Western Front Ace fan. If you guys haven't seen that, it's a Compass Games, narrative-driven solo game. You're a World War I pilot, and you have a bunch of missions, and you go through that. Ted Brayton does a great job online on a Facebook group, and I play in that campaign. But I kind of got the idea from Ruff. So he's doing a Skies Above Britain playthrough when he gets it done. But he uses some YouTubers in there, right? He throws their names in there and they play and they go through the adventure. So yesterday or a couple days ago, I decided I would do that as well. And so I came up with the idea of doing a Western Front Ace. Let me see if I can pull this up. I think I've got the graphic up here pretty quick. Yeah, there it is. So I'm just going to pull that over there so you guys can check that out. So I started this Western Front Ace YouTuber edition. And what we're doing is I'm doing 3 flights at a time, A, B, and C. And I'm running through. So like I'll do flight A. They all run the same mission, the same sortie. So it's all like it's happening simultaneously, but it's, and so I just randomly threw out YouTubers out there, right? That I have. And so if you want to get involved, go ahead and send me your name if you want to be involved. I know, Mike, I've already got you in the loop. Christoph, I've already got you in the loop. Stuka Joe's actually playing in the original, in the first one. So, but ID Jester and Nate from the War Room are in Flight A. Ruff and Tony's Board Life are in Flight B. And Stuka Joe and the Player's Aid, I put both Alexander and Grant in that one. Yeah. So spoiler alert, poor Nate died like right after takeoff in his first sortie. So he this game can be brutal and it is tough. And I've kind of messed with the rules a little bit. Like I've given people a couple good luck charms. Nate went through a good luck charm, and then he still got destroyed in the very next card. So so I'm trying to make it where people stay out. But the way it is, if you die, you're out. But if you get hurt, another spoiler alert, Ruff got hurt. So he will go back into the rotation, but he won't get back into a flight until I go through all the other people. So, but yeah, so stay tuned for that. I am going to film. The first one was a little long, so I'm not going to do an hour thing every time. So what I'm going to do is I think I'll break it up into flights. So the next mission, I think I will do Flight A. I'll do those 2 pilots. Then I'll put a video out. Then I'll do Flight B. Then I'll do Flight C. And then after the Flight C, I'll do a recap of the whole sortie so we can go from there. So the only people to have a victory right now is the Player's Aid. So they actually shot down a fighter. Stuka Joe's still alive. Tony's still alive. And Jester's still alive, of course. And so, and Jester, hey, when you guys see him, if you watch the video that I did, I called him Ruff like 3 times. And he sent me an email, quit calling me Ruff. And so now I'm going to have to just keep calling him Ruff because it bugs him. But so if you guys see him or you talk to him on the internet, just go ahead and call him the wrong name and he'll love that. And but yeah, so if you guys get a chance, go check out my videos for that. I've already filmed Flight A, so I'm not going to give any spoilers on that. That will ID Ruff is awesome. That's awesome, Stuka. That's exactly what I'm going to call him. So stay tuned for that. Again, guys, I really do appreciate you guys checking things out. We've actually had up to 20 people in here today, so that's great. And I have been long-winded, so we are at like 37 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, just want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Go check out Cardboard Commander on YouTube. We've got a Facebook group, Cardboard Commander. I'm on X a little bit. Got a website called Cardboard Commander. We've got a Discord. I've got everything out there. So if you want to come go check those out. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video, of course. And then guys, just go out there and get somebody to play with. Do some of that sort of stuff and get a new person out there. Christoph, let's pick a game. Let's play. If anybody else wants to play, Mike, again, I really appreciate if you do wait for me. That'd be great for your game. But again, if you guys need to play, I understand that too. I'm just a little busy the next couple of weeks. But wish me luck at this ASL tournament over the weekend. And guys, I really do thank you for stopping by. So until next time, everybody, be safe, be kind, and happy wargaming. Talk to y'all soon.